Hello everybody, this is Alex from the game Conquerors, and welcome back to Murdered Soul Suspect. Last episode we have finished the return to the church, and this episode we are headed towards the Judgment House. And before I started recording, I have found the last Ashes to Ashes story collectible. It's right there in the background. Yeah. It's, see all this burning buildings? It's upstairs here. Okay. You press remove on that and teleport. Okay, here we are. I'll be back after this.
I've all seen them by the side of the road. These unkept, smudged, hopeless people holding cardboard signs. Sometimes they have props. Baby stroller, a pet, gasoline can. Something to lend credence to the thin fiction that they need money for something other than booze. It was a man with a need gas sign with the red gas can on the ground that I saw when I drove into Salem 6 unlucky years ago today. Tried to ignore him, not making eye contact, but I was stuck at a red light and pretending he wasn't there was getting really awkward. So I reached into my pocket and pulled out $2, rolling down my window just a crack. Here you go, buddy. I pushed the money through the opening of the window. That was when, for the first time, I really looked at his face, or what was left of his face. It was a single eyeball just looking back at me, bulging out of a charred skull. I was absolutely frozen in terror until the blackened shape of uncovered finger bones reached out to take the money. And that's when I let it fall to the ground and slammed on the accelerator. I didn't even care that the light was red. In the time since then, I've picked up pieces of the legend. A shell-shocked war veteran, unemployable and alcoholic, became a familiar sight in Salem, begging by the roadside. Citizens stopped giving him money, thinking he would just move on to a bigger city. He responded by creating one of the most traumatic spectacles in town history, setting himself alight in the middle of town during evening rush hour. Ever since that roadside encounter, I've been seeing little wisps of flame out of the corner of my eye, like brief flashes that are gone as soon as I turn my head, sending nauseated chills through my whole body. Is this tormented spirit following me now? Whether he intends it as a blessing or a curse, I just want to be as far as possible from this horrifying specter.
Well, I don't know why he's haunting her. She was so kind. $2 whole. Granted, she drove off fast in disgust, but money is money. Let's continue. On our way to the Judgment House. Alright, what's that? Looks like you can remove it. Yep. There's a collectible in here.
I always heard this place was such an interesting museum back in its heyday. Now it's just a place propped up by rusty nails and rumors. A place you wouldn't dare your worst enemy to go into. Alright, there it is, Judgment House. Huh. This abandoned place isn't so abandoned after all. I hate it when I'm right.
Bastard. Okay, I guess we start by collecting crap. Start with this one first. Need 10 more to uncover the story. My bad. Oh, there's something here. And over here. Poem 1. Poem 2. Just need to be thorough. Squatters must have been here. Poem 3 and Poem 4. Who reads books anymore? Yeah, they say they're on they're still on Earth, but with all those books, it looks like hell. It'll be my hell anyway.
Holy shit. Look at all this crap. This is... Oh, fresh paint. This one's just been done. The witch who flew from her own mother, herself a witch, herself in flight, shall meet her death like so many other, and leave both realms this very night.
Shit. Okay, let's start with this. Third hanging victim discovered. Actually, I'm gonna look around. Demons. Great.
Vibrations I'm getting from this house are off the charts. It's like the museum. The old violence tries to take over the new. I have to tell Officer Baxter about this. This could be a vital piece.
She's saying her name wrong. I mean his name. It's not Baxter, it's Bastard. Yeah. I hope that got it. Yep, there it is. One more. And he is dead. Fatality. I'm kidding. 8 more. Oh, another. 7 more. And let's just collect everything later. First this. Victims and murder methods. Personal items. A murder's past. The devil made me do it. Yeah, no demons. That's because I already took care of them. My bad. Oh. Five more. Oh, 4 more. God, 4. Come on. There. And he is dead. He definitely should have saw me there. He's staring right at me. Idiot. Oh. Oh, he did. And that's the last of the witch trial history. Maybe get that. Wrong way. Come on. Yeah. Oh, just that one. Okay, I got it. Done. Need 3 more. Come on. There. Just check down here now. Come on. There.
So, who killed you?
The bell killer, you idiot. But I didn't get a good look at his face.
Where's the killer?
No idea. He could be anywhere. But when we fought, he said something I didn't understand at all.
Wait. The killer actually talked?
Not much, but I think I hit a nerve. I told that bastard he'd be dead soon, but he said, I already know death. And then something about his instrument of death will kill again tonight.
My instrument of death? But he kills different ways every time. I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither.
We gotta figure out what that means.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing here?
following a lead. I never dropped the case. Had this psychic, Cassandra, working with me. And we figured out the Bell Killer is hunting mediums, like a witch trial execution copycat. At that point, we couldn't let it go, even after Rex demoted me.
So that's why you're at the museum. Do you know where Cassandra is? Is she still alive?
Last I checked, yeah. I took her to a safe house outside of town.
Oh my God, she's alive. I was sure she'd be dead too. Joy would be freaking ecstatic. She shouldn't end up alone. Cassandra ever bring up her daughter?
Wouldn't shut up about her. We looked for Joy for days, but it was too risky. Cassandra has been begging me to track Joy down, but I haven't found her yet.
You're not gonna believe this. Joy's been helping me tonight.
Figures a cop like you would need help to get this far.
You mean like what? The help you got from her mom? Alright, you get back to Cassandra. Make sure she's still safe and bring her back to the station.
What are we gonna do?
I'm gonna quickly check out the cellar and come up with a plan. I hope.
This place is creepy enough. Now there's a cellar. Let's just get it over with. Yeah. Need 2 more to uncover the story. Check out here. Yeah, I'll be back once I find one. I have found one. It is near the beginning in the closet. Okay, I'll be back once I find the other. Actually, rather close to that last one. See, that's behind me is a room with the killer's war room. With a murder board and everything. And it's right next door. You remove this door. There's a door there. Not completed. Okay, I'll be back once this is done.
Salem wasn't the most exciting place for a couple of rambunctious 13-year-olds. And playing with my friends after school, they usually required a healthy dose of imagination to spice up the underwhelmingly bleak landscape. To us, Salem's history was just a bunch of creepy stories and tourist attractions. I mean, witches didn't exist, we all knew that. That's why Robbie Barnes was the laughingstock of the entire school. I mean, he actually believed that they were real. Looking back, I wish I hadn't teased him so much. Maybe then he'd still be alive. I forget which one of my friends actually came up with a plan to prank Robbie, but it didn't take him long to get us all on board. My job was to find an example of an old spell. I mean, it took me all of 15 minutes. And the library had practically every book ever written on the subject. The next step involved the Judgment House. It sat up on the hill, abandoned. Everyone said it was haunted. What made it even creepier were the rumors that Judge Hawthorne burned the remains of accused witches in the house's various fireplaces. That's where Robbie comes in. We dared him to sneak into the Judgment House in the middle of the night and collect a handful of ashes from each of the fireplaces. Then he'd have to light some candles, sprinkle the ashes, and read the spell. We told him that if done correctly, the spell would supposedly blow out all the candles. If he agreed to do all this and the candles so much as flickered, we would promise to stop making fun of him. We could see that he was scared, but to his credit, he agreed to go through with it. What we didn't tell him was that we had set up a hidden camera to catch all the hilarity on tape. The next day, Robbie didn't come into school. We assumed he had chickened out and was too embarrassed to face the music. Then I heard that Robbie went missing. I felt the chill run down my spine as I retrieved the tape from our hidden camera. I pressed play and fast forward until I saw Robbie. He was doing just as we instructed him to. But then, a shadowy figure crossed in front of the camera. Robbie turned in horror just as the camera cut to static. When the image finally returned, Robbie was gone. And the only sign that anything had happened at all was the now smoldering fireplace over in the corner.
Okay, I am back. Yeah, so far that was the creepiest story of this game. Doesn't make it creepy to me, but I have nerves of steel here. Moving on. Just finish this area. I'm lost. Of course, this place is a frickin' maze. There's the stairs. This way? Yeah. In all fairness, I probably should just cut this part out. But oh well, we're doing it. We've made it. So with this room. You don't even know what this place looks like to me. You don't wanna know. It's not right. She's pleading and in prison. And that makes it worse.
Stood for justice. How is this just?
I just need to forget about this place. Accusing, judging, stern.
You claim righteousness, but you know your guilt and cannot deny your punishment is due.
Oh, this? No rest for the wicked. Any in here? No. Okay. There it is. Who drew this? It's pretty obvious. She's sitting right next. Righteous man. Imprisoned Abigail. And symbol in the cell.
You claim righteousness, but you know your guilt and cannot deny your punishment is due.
I thought you stood for justice. How is this just?
The courts are not a place for your murderous whimsy. You are a corrupt heathen. The families of those innocent souls you executed through false accusation of witchcraft will exact their righteous justice tonight.
False accusation?
What is that nonsense you draw?
My mark will burn like a brand in the flesh of this town. If it takes me to the ends of eternity, I will personally make the bell toll for every witch in Salem.
Why? The guy who killed me is Abigail.
If you know it's a girl, then why'd you say the guy who killed me?
How is that possible? I gotta get out of here and figure out how to track her down.
Okay, let's start heading out. That's not good. Killer's instrument of death. Actual puritanier witchcraft. uh. Is Abigail the bell killer? I guess so. Now it's time to find the exit. And the town. Well, everybody, I think that's all the time I've left for this episode. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and maybe even a comment in the comment section. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.